What's up, guys? My name is Kevin, and today I'll be talking about why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And there's like a wealth gap between the rich and then everyone else in society. And kind of like the core thing that makes them different, the rich people, is their mindset. Knowing the definition of what like financial literacy is in life, in society, and to yourself. And most people in my experience that I have really talked to, from like friends or family and just people I kind of like worked with, they don't know what like financial literacy is. They're not educated enough about it, and they're like living paycheck to paycheck, which isn't like a sustainable thing for most people in life. Why work for money for the rest of your life? What are you gonna do with that money when you quote unquote retire? Just to keep working? There are many questions that I'm going to be addressing in this video, and it starts with the core habit. Financial literacy means to me is knowing that I could have multiple streams of passive producing incomes. I'm not going to be relying on my part-time job, full-time job, or even salary years or months down the line. It all starts with yourself. I could give generic save, budget, and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to. It's kind of like starts with yourself. You gotta be self-aware or conscious. Don't run away from this. But where are you spending most of your money monthly or yearly? Fintech apps that could track it for you. Most banks could track it for you. And or Mint, which is a popular finance app to track your daily expenses and monthly expenses. And it gives you a spreadsheet or a graph, like where you're spending most of your money, and it separates it into like categories. Most Americans spend their money on houses they can't afford, cars that's not very efficient. They just drive for just the looks of it and just like that ego thing of it. If you're in high school or in college, you're in your 20s or 30s, and your aspect of your life in that time, you don't need to have the nicest car. It's about just grinding, putting all your time and energy on a job that you're really passionate about. If it's building a business, personal brand, or working for someone that you really like, or company that you're really passionate about, or resonate with their mission statement. And that's kind of like the first step. Where are you spending most of your money in? Make a simple spreadsheet. Use the Mint app. Most banking apps have systems to help you track it. Number 2, you gotta start saving. And what I mean by saving is like, how much should I save? And it's just start small. And you can like really just automate it to like, I'll save between 5 and 10% of it and put it into a high online yield savings account. And I suggest Yotta, if I'm pronouncing that right, Yotta, or Alloy Bank. I'll leave it down in the description. And those banks give you some interest in it, but you're not going to make a ton of money off these high interest savings accounts. So maybe 1% or even 0.5%. Yeah, banks are like scams. And your savings account is going to consist of what? Your emergency fund. Unexpected things are going to happen in your life, and you're not going to really like plan for it. From unexpected car repairs and medical bills, got a plan ahead of it. And each person is different. And just look at the last 12 months or so, how much you had to pay for medical bills and car repairs, and put an average into your savings account. And add on to that emergency fund, food, subscriptions. If you don't have a job anymore, you could use that money for the next 3 or 4 or 5 months or so. Live off of it so you could be just very free. Number 3, investing. And when most people hear of investing, they run away from it. Where do I start? Should I start in real estate? Should I start investing in crypto? Should I start investing in index funds or individual stocks? And for most people, if you want to start investing, I would just really, if you have a full-time job or part-time job, why not invest and max out your 401k? Pick the most aggressive fund in that 401k because you get free money from it. And most companies match how much you put in up to a certain percent. If you think about it, if they match $5,000, that's $10,000 or $5,000 of free money you can invest into it. The average American retires 59 or 60. You're going to have 20, 30, or even 40 plus years plus of compounding interest working for you in the market. And over time, the market has gone up. And just pick the most aggressive fund that's really into high growth or individual stocks like companies you use on a daily basis, like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, just to name a few. You're investing into a pool of stocks or businesses, and you're going to be diversified. And you got to think long term. You don't care about what happens in the market in the short term. You have to think long term. That's conventional wisdom. Over the grand scheme of things, your money's going to get compounded over time because of economic booms, or society innovating, consumer spending, and all that stuff. Macro and microeconomics talk. And number 2, after maxing out your 401k, investing for long term and going for the most aggressive fund because you have time on your side, why not invest into a Roth IRA? You could max out that Roth IRA, put $500 a month, which equates to $6,000 a year. That's how much you could put in. and you get tax-free gains from all the gains of it when you pull it out when you retire at 59 or 60. And I would do half and half into ticker symbols VTI. Not a financial advisor or anything, but that's my suggestion, my opinion. Half of that index into an S&P 500 that follows the market, and VTI, which is a total stock market index, which consists of 3,500 companies in the market. So you get everything ranging from small cap stocks to mega cap stocks. So you're diversified. And these indexes have returned an average annually 6 to 8% each and every single year. And I just want to recap this video. This is how the rich get richer. They know where they're spending their money. Having not like a complex budget, but just being aware where they're spending most of their money and trying to cut back on the big things that make up the majority of their budget. Saving like 5 to 10%, investing 5 to 10%, maxing out their 401k, maxing out their Roth IRA. That's for like general people that don't care about investing, should just do that conventional type of investments. For myself, like if I love investing into individual stocks, taking the time to understand these companies on a high level like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, what financial education does on YouTube. They read financial statements. They know the macro and microeconomics, where society is going. They understand the accounting language. They can run their own projections. And this type of investment style is not for everyone because it takes time. And wherever you put your time and energy into focusing on, you could put your mind into anything in this world, just quote unquote manifesting it. Picking individual stocks, which exponentially could grow your wealth over time. Instead of making 6 to 8% each and every single year, my goal is between 16 and 20% consistently on a long-term basis. And I think I could do it because of the amount of work I'm putting in right now. Have an emergency fund that's going to last you 5 to 6 months if you lose your job or expenses from housing, car payments, unexpected medical bills, car repairs, food, dining. And ask yourself, like, what do you want to do in this lifetime? You want life to be full of experiences with food, travel with your family and friends? Or do you want to create like generational wealth, creating your own personal brand? It's all with like that mindset, your belief systems, and just being like disciplined and patient with it. If you're young and listening to it, you have time on your side. It's all about taking a risk and just thinking like out of the box, thinking for yourself and just going like your own path. That's what I'm like really into, self-improvement. And one last thing I forgot, just really invest into yourself at a young age. Like books, courses, and just investing in general, starting early at a young age. All my tips and tricks for this video, why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Don't do what everyone else does in society. Thank you for watching and peace out.